Komron is a young businessman.
To start,
Mm-hmm.
I got an email for an e-transfer.
What? Like money already?
Yeah, for $50.
Wow.
I felt really sad because I cried for quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
No, get them a PS5, but put parental restrictions on it until they start their business.
Trying to find solutions, we actually find our passion.
Yeah, it's not like they were like, look at what I'm about to do. I'm being kind. No, they just did it. And I followed on. It's like monkey see, monkey do.
I love it. Monkey see, monkey do.
Hello, I am Gulnara Omar and welcome to my weekly podcast. Please join me and my guests as we dive into wellness, empowerment psychology, health, beauty, and helpful tips on how to create positive change with greater energy and courage. So, let's get inspired to live healthier, more empowered, and fulfilling lives.
Hello, dear friends. Welcome to my podcast with you, Gulnara Omar. And with me today is a very special friend. I have the youngest guest on my podcast today. His name is Komron Pulodi, and that's his drawing.
Which is unfinished.
Which is unfinished, but I didn't know. It looks finished. It looks totally finished to me because if you didn't tell me, it's like abstract painting. So it's okay, but well, thanks for being honest. So now everybody knows that it's unfinished and you'll have to finish it maybe if you choose to.
I started that when I was like 7. I haven't made any progress.
It's okay. It's okay. We don't have to be perfect. You enjoyed it, and now everybody can see that your name is Komron Pulodi, and that's a great thing. So welcome to my podcast. And Komron is a son of my good friend Zulfira Pulodi. Pulotova. Okay, so you have a different last name from her.
Yeah, because where we're from, Tajikistan, it used to be part of the Soviet Union, and I was the only one who got like an actual Tajik name.
Ah, I see.
So, yeah.
So you both, okay, good. Well, thanks for clarification. I get confused with all those last names, but now we know. And the most important person right now, for me at least, in my podcast is you my guest, Komron. And the reason I invited Komron because he has a very special story, compelling story, I would say. You're so young, and you're 10 years old. And Komron is a young businessman, and he found business that is connected and based on his 3 passions. And I would like to ask you some questions, but first I want to ask you, what is your biggest passion and how it started in your life?
Probably reptiles and animals in general. It started when I was 4 years old, and my brother had a ball python, a snake, named Bobo. And since I was 4 years old, I was kind of interested in it. I'd never seen it before. No one really taught me of it. So instead of most other people being scared, I thought it was cool. And every day it was like something more like a toy than an actual living being to me because I was so little. I would touch it and it would move and it was cool. So
and then something happened.
Yeah, and then
can you share this?
We moved.
Accident.
We gave Bobo away, and then we moved to the house we're in right now, and we had a leopard gecko, a type of gecko, which is a type of lizard. And
how big is it? Is it like how many? Is it?
It was like
10 inches? Or?
That big. The biggest leopard geckos, including their tail, is like that big.
Okay. So you had it when you were 4 years old, or your brother had it?
My brother had it.
Okay, so you have 2 older brothers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And what happened?
So everyone was playing basketball. We used to have a basketball net, and I was just in the garage with the leopard gecko Hector, and I thought it was thirsty, so I actually poured water on it, thinking that it would help it, but it just drowned.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you you make Hector drown
yeah,
unintentionally.
unintentional.
Did you know that? You were only 4, right? So,
Yeah.
or your brothers told you later?
My brother, like, because he was playing basketball too, and he came back because it was just on the driveway where the basketball net was, and I was in the garage, right? So he came and saw that Hector was dead, and he told me. He understood that I was really little, so he didn't really get mad at me. He was, of course, upset though.
I see. And then, so this pet died, and then you shared with me earlier that you did buy another pet for yourself
When
when
I
you,
was like 7, 8.
okay, like 3 years older,
Yeah.
3 years later. And what happened?
And so one night I was like really, really tired, but I couldn't fall asleep. So I took him out of his enclosure.
So you
the
bought
leopard
exactly the
gecko.
same,
Yeah, the
the
same
same
one.
gecko?
Not like the exact same one,
Mhm.
just the same species.
Right, right.
And so I took him out of his terrarium at night because I couldn't sleep, and I ended up falling asleep, and I was just in bed, and he was looking for warmth, so he came like right there, and then I
Crawling
rolled
under
over.
you.
Yeah, I rolled over, and
You squashed it.
yeah.
Oh. And how did you feel?
I felt really sad because I cried for quite a bit, and then I buried him. He's in our backyard still.
Oh. Did you put his name or?
Yeah, I gave him a little gravestone made out of cardboard. It got washed away by the rain though, so
What was his name?
Jimmy.
Oh,
So it said R.I.P. Jimmy, rest in peace.
Jimmy. Oh. So Jimmy was your friend and it died, but it didn't stop you from loving pets. It's actually ignited your curiosity, how they behave, how to treat them, how to take care of them, right? And sometimes in life it happens. We have issues, we have problems, there's pain, but in trying to find solutions, we actually find our passion.
Yeah.
I think it's great that you continue to love pets, and actually your business now is connected to pets. And you mentioned that it's connected to your 3 passions. But how did you start your business? Can you give us a little story?
Well, I was talking about it for a really, really long time. I was saying, this will be my name, KP Photography. Oh,
You even gave the name to your business?
yeah,
Oh.
way before I even went outside and started. My dad got his coworker that was a photographer from his work, and he taught me the camera and all that. But I didn't ever go outside and actually try and make money. I even at one point tried to make a website without, like, I needed to go out there and make some money first.
Yeah. So your business consisted of having 3 passions, which is, you said, biking,
Mountain biking, pets, and photography.
and photography. Okay, perfect. So then you decided to go ahead and do it, but you procrastinated. You didn't do it. You delayed and delayed. What changed? What shifted that you actually went and did it? Because I want our followers to see it, and parents to help their children to do that too.
Yeah. So my dad said if I made $50 on my business, he would give me his laptop, some business cards, and then my brother chipped in saying if I made 100, which included that 50, so all I needed to do is make another 50,
Oh, wow.
he would buy me a PS5, which a
That's a
lot
good
of
gift.
yeah, there's a lot of parents watching. Get your kids a PS5, okay?
If they start their business.
No, get them a PS5, but put parental restrictions on it until they start their business. Because it'll just kind of suck for them if they have one but they can't use it.
Mm. So then, did you start the business or they get it to you for you first? What happened?
So my brother, he he saw a PS5 for like only $300 or $400. Usually they cost $500.
Mm-hmm.
And at least I think that's what happened. But he decided to buy it just at that moment. And I was playing on it, so that just mostly brought me away from my business even more. So my dad said that if I don't make a certain amount of money by a certain time, he would like shut down the PS5 so I couldn't use it.
Because your father reminded you that you had a deal,
Yeah.
right? But then you didn't hold up to your end of the deal. And what happened next?
Well, that encouraged me to go outside. Like, he made me go outside, and I was like, oh, this is gonna suck. It's gonna be so awkward and also boring. And
You
then I
resisted.
went.
You resisted, right?
And then I went, I got some photos. I actually got clients that were saying, yeah, I'd like you to
So what
send them
happened?
to
You
me.
went out and you just came up to random people, offering them to you had a camera with you and a bike.
Yeah.
And what did you say? Just like, give me the money, I'll take your photos. What did you say?
I said, hey, I'm starting a pet photography business, and I was wondering if I could take a few photos of your dog.
Oh.
And if they said yes, I would take some photos. I would show them. Actually, I didn't show them back then, but I would say, and if you'd like, I could send you the photos. And if they said yes, which one of like my second customer said, I would say thank you, have a good day. I'd go home. I would start to so I would write the email. Well, first I would download the images onto my dad's laptop. I would edit them with Photoshop, Adobe Express. It's not just Photoshop because Photoshop costs money, which I didn't have enough for yet. So I went, I did it, I sent the email, and I was so surprised when the next day I got an email for an e-transfer.
What? Like money already?
Yeah, for $50.
Wow. That's
So,
amazing.
like, of course, in the email I had asked for if.
And who helped you to download the photos? Who helped you to do the emails? Did you do it all by yourself?
Well,
or
my dad helped me with downloading and editing the photos. And then my mom helped me with the structure of the email.
That's nice. So it was a teamwork.
Yeah. If there's one thing that I would say to all the moms watching, it's that go out, make a business, set a good example. Same with the dads. Even if they're different roles, they still do the same thing.
Yeah, they can be successful.
Even if they're different roles, they have the same job.
Yeah, exactly. And moms can be as successful as dads. There's no restriction if they want to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So don't feel that just because you're a mom, you have to downplay your talents, right? And I can you show this to our followers? I know that your father does woodwork.
My dad and brother made this chess piece,
Mm-hmm.
and my brothers, my brother and my dad helped him at first, but then my brother started selling these wooden knives at
Mm-hmm.
school,
Wow.
and they're very nice, as you can see. Very
So
high quality.
your father helped
Beautiful.
your brothers, but your mom, she never discouraged it, right? She never
Yeah.
said don't do it, or that's too
She
dangerous.
she would always encourage it
Mm-hmm.
too.
So it's a
yeah.
teamwork
Mm.
among two parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what if the mother raises her child alone, for example? She doesn't have a husband and she doesn't have support.
It may be difficult,
Mm-hmm.
but in this situation, you need to play both roles.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. And you just need to be strong, right? Because
Mm.
being weak won't help them anyway.
Crying yourself to sleep and being stressed out won't help with the current situation that's going on.
Exactly. Because children need example, children need energy, children need strength. They still depend upon their parents, and if they see their moms who are constantly stressed, they will feel stressed, right?
Mm.
They will feel sorry for their moms. There'll be like a lot of anxiety. Well, thank you so much, Komron. That was a wonderful interview.
Mm.
And is there anything that you want to wish to younger people who are watching us, maybe children of your age, who want to start but scared, or maybe they don't want to start, but anything you want to wish to them?
One of my favorite quotes is to start.
So there's nothing in between. Just do it. Just start.
Just start.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like there's
Mm-hmm.
anything blocking you from doing it. I kept thinking, oh, money will block me.
No,
It didn't.
they still paid you, right?
Yeah.
And you asked for it. But so if they feel doubts and fear that they'll be rejected and people say no, what should they do? Because you had the same
the
too.
thing is, just know you'll be rejected like
Regardless.
70% of the time.
Oh, really? Is that how many times you got rejected?
Like, I've been rejected way more than that, actually.
So how did you deal with rejection? Because it's the biggest fear. People don't like to be rejected.
I just got up, dealt with it, and moved on.
Yeah.
Knowing that I'll get accepted by someone.
Oh, wow. You cannot be loved by everyone. You're not a dollar sign. You're not a dollar bill, basically, right?
Yeah.
So there will be people who don't accept you, but don't take it personally. It's not about you.
Yeah.
You know, there is a saying, how can they reject you if they don't know you?
Exactly.
So let's summarize here so that my followers, my listeners can understand your situation. You were 10 years old. You are 10 years old now. And then you couldn't do the business. You were procrastinating. You were pushing yourself. And you couldn't do it. So then your brother challenged you. He kind of gave you the condition. If you do this, I'll give you that. And then your father also challenged you. So eventually you went, and you have three passions. You love mountain biking, you love pets, and you love, is this your camera, right? This is your, and you love photography. So you went ahead and did it. And it was, but at the beginning you felt resistance. Am I right?
Mm.
It wasn't easy. So whoever is watching, whether you're a child or an adult, everything at the beginning is difficult. There will be resistance. There will be some inner voice of doubt, right? As you said, I'm not going to ask for money. This is not comfortable. That's not me. But then you went, and actually you got encouraged by people. And then you got $50, and then what happened? Someone else paid you too?
And then someone paid me $5, and then someone paid me $20, so I made $75.
Wow. So, and you were happy with any amount, right? You were just grateful. So the lesson here, if you go out and you do it, something will happen. right? You just need to do it. It has to go beyond your words, beyond your wishes and thoughts. You have to get up and do it, right? So I know that your parents supported your love for pets, and even one time your dad wanted to buy you a snake.
Mm.
Yeah.
So at a reptile expo, my dad said, "We can buy you this snake right now."
Mm.
And I was excited. It was really hard to say no, but I knew that if we took the snake, there was a very high chance of it dying. We didn't have the proper equipment for it yet.
Yeah. And maybe part of you, because you lost two lizards unintentionally, you've learned your lesson and you decided to be more responsible, because your response to your father was very responsible. Because another kid would say, yeah, let's go, let's just buy it, let's just do whatever, but you took it responsibly. I need to set up the home for this, for the snake, right? You needed to have everything ready.
Mm.
Because I have many parents watching me right now, what would you suggest to your parents when they raise kids, and if they want their children to also have this entrepreneurial inclination to be able to go out and because we anything new is scary, Komron. Anything new, we think, well, I don't know how to do it. We don't want to fail. We don't want to be embarrassed. We don't want to be ridiculed. We have so much resistance. So kids don't know what to do, right? And not all parents are entrepreneurs. So what do you think? What should they do? What your parents did right that helped you?
One thing my parents did very right is they set a good example. They showed me what they did. It's not like they were like, "Look at what I'm about to do. I'm being kind." No, they just did it. And I followed on. It's like monkey see, monkey do.
I love it. Monkey see, monkey do. So you just watched your parents' lifestyle, how they interact with people, because I know you're still very young, but some adults, they are mistakenly thinking that because you're young, you don't understand things, you don't observe, you don't see, you don't make your conclusions, but you see everything, right?
Yeah.
And there's this saying in psychology: don't worry that your children don't listen to you, worry that they always watch you, right?
Yeah.
And you watched your mom, and how did your mom influence you? Because I remember she was saying how you were talking about Robert Kiyosaki, but you pronounced it differently, and you were only 3 years old. How did you learn about this book or this guy?
Ever since I remember, my mom has always been doing these crazy events because of her business.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were a lot of books on famous business people.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one about Robert Kiyosaki.
Yes.
Kiyosaki.
Yeah, you called it Kiyosaki when you were little.
Yeah, when I was little, I called him Robert Kiyosaki. And I said a lot, "Aya," which means like mom in Tajik. "Aya, you're more famous than Robert Kiyosaki."
Yeah, because there was a book with his face there, so you connected his face and the name, and he's a famous, obviously, but your mom for you was a hero, right?
Yeah. So it doesn't matter how famous someone is.
Mm-hmm.
You should be your only kid's idol. Well, not your only, but number one.
Yeah.
Because I remember we do something called Spirit Week at school.
Spirit Week?
Spirit Week. We're actually
what is it about?
We're having it this week. So every day there's like a theme and you have to dress up as it.
Okay.
There was one that was like dress up as your idol day.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone was like Taylor Swift, Ronaldo, LeBron James.
Wow.
But I was I was my dad.
What?
So,
That's amazing. Because your father is your hero.
yeah, my idol.
And why is that? Give me 3 reasons why your father is your hero.
Well, first of all, I dressed up as him and not my mom because he's a boy and my mom's a girl. So,
Okay.
and I'm a boy.
Okay.
But 3 reasons. He's very kind. He used to go to Africa a lot, like a lot,
For
a lot,
work?
for work, and he would always help the people there with sanitation and clean water and stuff
That's
like that.
amazing. And when you see your father talking to other people,
He's always in a kind manner. He, even if the other person is mad at him, he'll stay reasonable and he doesn't elevate it more than it should be.
so he knows how to control himself. He has strong level of self-regulation, and when you observe him, you admire it. And do you see other men, adults, who lose their control?
Honestly, there's so many people I see that just lose control over the simplest things. Like, oh, this gas is too dang expensive. And then they like start kicking their car. And it's
wow,
just kind of awkward.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because especially when you see other people who have anger issues or they can't control their emotions, when you think about your dad, it's like, wow, am I so lucky, right? Well, dear followers, as you can tell, Komron is so special. I literally fell in love with his energy when I first met him. And I did tell you that, right?
Yeah.
And I was very genuine. I have 2 sons and they grew up, and I remember those times and I miss those times. And just before we go, I want you to share one final advice with our parents, or just people who don't have children, but they're somehow connected to children, or maybe they have nieces and nephews, or maybe they work with children, maybe they have neighbors. But what would you suggest? Because I love your authentic wisdom. I love how you say it in such a sincere way.
Just be as kind as possible, just like most of my parents. And if you're not, other people will decide not to be kind either. And it'll just spread a chain. If one person's not kind and another person gets affected, and then another one and another one,
Wow.
eventually the whole world gets affected, and it's just a gloomy day for everyone.
I love it. So if you want to spread sunshine and brightness, make sure you have sunshine in your heart and take care of yourself before you go out to the world and spread misery or anger or rudeness. Take care of yourself and spread kindness, like both of your mom and dad.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell they're your heroes. And be your children's heroes. And to be a hero, you have to be strong and empowered, because that's what heroes are. They have challenges, they have difficulties, they fall down, they get disappointed, and then
even the strongest heroes won't always get what they want.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it's a temporary defeat, temporary challenges. They don't turn people down, turn them away from their goal. And see, you had 2 traumatic experiences. Both pets died. It was caused by your action, but it was unintentional. But it didn't stop you. You actually went and you started researching, what can I do to treat them better? What can I do to handle them carefully? What are their behaviors? So you took trauma and you turned it to something meaningful and purposeful. So thank you so much, Komron. I loved our interview. I could talk to you for so long, and you're so young, and you're so interesting, and so wise, and just continue spreading joy and happiness and intelligence and share information with everyone. And I feel so recharged by you right now. You're like this battery Duracell that gives people energy. Thank you so much for watching us, for listening, and until next episode. And if you would like to listen to Komron's interviews more, let me know, and I will invite him to our podcast with great pleasure. Will you be able to come again?
Yeah, if my parents can, because I'm free any day.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, thank you for your availability for us. Bye, guys, and stay strong, spread kindness, and take your hobbies and take your passion to your businesses and support your children and children around you and just spread love.
Until next episode.
Yay!